Look, there were some changes last year to the Corporations Act, and really the idea of that legislation was to target and punish, if you like, employers and directors who deliberately structure or restructure their businesses to avoid employee entitlements. So it's really targeted at people who try and hide behind the corporate veil, set up companies that don't have assets behind them, for example, knowing full well that that company, if push comes to shove, won't be able to pay out entitlements. It targets it and punishes it. Directors can be liable. It's not just doing things like that it's not just a case of them knowing that they're ripping off employees or plan to. The test is whether even they were reckless in that. So if they turned a blind eye to it, maybe it was someone else's idea, but they just went along with it, they can be liable as well. The other thing is that there are new powers to disqualify directors as well if they've been involved in 2 or more instances of this kind of contravention. Perhaps, I think, most significantly, or as significant, is the ability for contributions from other entities within a group. So the corporate veil can be pierced in that way. If there's a group of companies, say one of which employs everyone and only has liabilities, and there are other companies with assets, well, a liquidator could pursue and recover from other companies in the group. They're the big changes. Now, there are already other areas, and have been for a long time under the Fair Work Act, where directors and others, not just directors, responsible persons, can be personally liable for fines and can be prosecuted for failure to pay employee entitlements in cases where that is deliberate and there's clear breach of obligation to meet employee entitlements. So those provisions have been there for a long time, along with where there's deliberate or reckless breaching of general protections. So taking steps against employees contrary to their workplace rights. Directors and others can be personally responsible and fined, in fact, for that. So they're just some of the areas in the employment world where directors really need to be completely across the entitlements of employees, the ability of the company to meet those entitlements, and we're talking about all employment entitlements, including tax, superannuation, long service leave provisioning, all of that. Directors have to be across all of that and really understand it and be able to demonstrate in a liquidation scenario that was part of the board discussion, that directors were reported to accurately about all of that they had good, clear procedures for reporting, awareness, and then action taken within the company to address problems as they arise.